Welcome to another episode of Let's See Plants. I'm your host, KD, and today we have a special guest. He's an entrepreneur, CEO, and founder of Kale My Name, Chicago award-winning plant-based restaurant. He's also the host of the podcast Extraordinary with Nemanja. In this episode, he shares his journey as a business owner and his experience with plant-based diet. Welcome, Nemanja. How you doing?
Hello. Well, great. So excited to be chatting with you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. All the way from Chicago, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I got to ask you the million-dollar question. What made you put the red meat down?
What made me put the meat down? My main reason were the animals. And I know it's not the most popular reason. Number one reason why people go vegan is health. For me, health just is super important, of course. But it was just not clicking for me that in order to be very healthy, I would need to drop the eating dead bodies. It was compassion. I just never thought of what animal needs to go through in order to end up on a plate, and it's not pretty. When you see that final product, just rewind the tape and everything that needed to happen, and screams and blood and tears, and it's awful. And I was like, I just don't want to participate in this anymore. And then after that, I started discovering other benefits.
Okay. So growing, because I know you're not from America. You're
No.
from
Montenegro.
Okay, thank you. I know the problem.
Yeah, no worries.
So, what age, like, when you start realizing, okay, I don't want to keep eating red meat? Was it during that time you lived in your country, or you moved to America?
No, it was after I moved to America. In my country, we grew up eating with what's on the table. What mom makes and what serves, that's to be eaten. And you often don't even think, where does it come from? You just think food comes from a grocery store. And I was not realizing any of those things. But also, I was too focused on other things in life. And even when I came in America, I was so focused on being able to make it. Back then, I wouldn't say this because I was so embarrassed of the fact that I really wanted to make a lot of money. That was my goal, but I was so ashamed of it. And I actually do know why. I don't want to say I don't know why. I know why. Just because I grew up in a very humble family and things like that, and also learned that like money it's a bad thing, and like you shouldn't be that shallow. You should care for more happiness, the relationship, the heart, and I care for all of those things. But the more money I have, the more I'm able to do for people around me, and that's one of the reasons what motivated me to just really want to have a lot of money. So when I came to America, the reason was for better life. I was not able to make that money in Montenegro. It is a beautiful small country in Europe, but it's economically quite poor. So I wasn't able to make a lot of money there. And then once I came to America and I started making some sort of money, that now it sounds funny to me, but in that moment I just couldn't believe that I was able to make like $100 or $200 in a day. Because that back in time, now it's a little bit better in Montenegro, but literally 10 years ago, that was like an average monthly salary. Like people would work the entire month for $200. And I was able to make that in a day. I was so grateful that I cannot explain that to you. There were moments where I just couldn't believe, and I was doing really good health-wise, and my family was doing good, and I was so grateful. And I was looking for the ways of what can I do to be a better person, because my life is just so perfect. I felt that way. Now I don't even feel that way anymore. I don't know why I don't feel my life. It's perfect now, but back then I felt like it was so perfect. And I was just so happy.
Do you think because you feel like everything came too fast?
It's just later on in life, I became more ambitious. I don't think I was ambitious in that moment. So I think the less ambitious you are, the more happy you are with things that you have. So I had no ambitions, not any, but like I was so happy I was working in a restaurant. I was like making tips, and I was a server, bartender, floor manager, general manager, all of it. But the money that I was making, I was so happy with, and I remember saying to myself, I'm just going to be nice and kind to everyone. And I'm just going to be a good person to everyone. And I decided that while being in this job that I had, and there was a coworker, we were not in a good relation. We just all the time had some issues and stuff. Because she was mean to me. She was like straight mean to me. And she knew it. And she didn't care. But I was like, I'm just going to be so kind to her. For absolutely no reason. Even though she was like last person that deserved that from me, I every day went to be very intentional, to be a loving and kind person towards her. And she thought I'm being fake because she was like, why? Yeah, he's supposed to be mean to me. Like she very much knew that that's what she deserved. But no, I was being intentional about being very kind. And it started with her because she was like, the meanest person I knew in the moment. And I wanted to extend that to everyone, including to complete strangers. I just wanted to, if you meet me, your date's better than it was before.
Yeah, no, you do have
And
good
that's what
spirit.
I wanted. But then I realized I am excluding someone from my kindness. And those were the animals, because there would be a dead bird in my salad, dead chicken, right? So I thought of it, and those were my first clues. So it's happening in America. It's happening around 2016 when I'm feeling like my life is perfect. And I am in that moment deciding to do something for more than just humans, but to extend my compassion and empathy towards every living being out there.
So I want to ask, when you was making that transition, was it hard?
Listen, once it's clicked in your mind, once you understand that animal it's not there for you to be used, it becomes the easiest on the world. Yeah. I went vegetarian at the moment because I was still not educated on what's going on in the dairy industry or in egg industry. So in 2016, I went vegetarian. That's now 9 years ago that I stopped eating meat. And then a vegan, I went multiple times and then took step back in between vegan and vegetarian because, again, I was not educated. So I was not I was not feeling so strongly about it because I thought, oh, cow is giving milk because she's a cow. It never occurred to me that cow gives milk because she's a mother. And those are the things that it took me a little bit longer. I wish it didn't, but sadly it did. But again, once that clicked too, and I finally stepped into the veganism and I never looked back, and the only regret I have is not doing it sooner.
Wow. So how long you been vegan?
Well, now that's going to be like how long? Maybe 7 years, 7, 8 years. It's hard to know because, again, I went vegan, vegetarian multiple times in between 2016 to 2018 till I finally decided to go into the veganism. But yeah, meat-free since 2016.
Okay, yeah. Cause see, my reason for going before I explain my reason for going vegan, I know you're real big on saving the animals, right? Mm-hmm. So you don't wear like no fur coats and nothing like that.
Nothing. I no leather shoes. No. My car was custom made for me to make sure that there are no leather seats inside. My cosmetics are not tested on animals. I 1000% go into the full mode of living as a compassionate human being.
Oh, okay. So I'm just curious. Your close friends or family, do you kind of give them, like give them a frown when they wear like?
Oh, well, I do my activism, yes. Yes, and I want to do my activism with you. Because you said you went vegan. Tell me why you went vegan.
Well, I went vegan because it's a lot of reasons. Because of, I'll give you the main reason. I seen a documentary with the health, and I seen that changed my whole perspective. Then I seen Game Changer, and then my see my father and my grandfather, they didn't take care of their health. So seeing that, it just gave me that spark, like, yeah, I need to do something about this because I don't want to get older and having health problems and stuff like that. So that's my reason why.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you went for the health. And then did you ever make a connection to extend your compassion towards the animals? Were you ever like now, before it was not the case, but now if I see a cow, I get all excited and I'm like waving to a cow and I want to say, oh my God, like I wish I could do anything to help you, but I'm trying and things like that. Do you feel now more connection with
You
animals
want me to
in
be honest
general?
with you? I do because, and I'm gonna tell you why. What made me realize it? I always want to get a farm, and some people get a farm so they can sell animals, sell the cows. And I'm like, man, I wouldn't mind having a farm, but I won't feel right selling an animal to get killed. So yeah, so that was my yeah.
Yeah. You know who used to be sold? People. And it's so wrong, and we now know that, and that's a really shameful thing from the human past, and this is going to be something that future generations are going to be ashamed of us. They're going to be, we can't believe they used to eat animals, because it's just so awful. And the reason why activism is so important and why I think you would be amazing activist, and that's one of my goals in this conversation. I'm gonna lurk you into the dark side, as you say. And the reasons for that is, and why I think you would be an amazing activist. The thing is, I am a gay man, and back in time, still in some countries, like that's to be killed or to be in jail. Like it's illegal. Yes. Okay. Well, I was like, what? Maybe you. Who knows? Maybe you're blind. I don't know. Anyway, it's thanks to the people who went out on the streets and who riot and who did all of these protests and things like that. Today I'm safely sitting over here on a couch with you and sharing this story without being afraid that somebody's gonna kill me for it or somebody's gonna put me in jail for it. So I come from basically a marginalized group, and you as a black person come from what your ancestors needed to go through in order for you to be free today. Look at you having a podcast, So we have come a long way, but of course there's still so much more to go. But again, I want to extend that not just to humans, but to animals as well, because that quote that says injustice anywhere, it's threat to justice everywhere. So why are we not treating animals with respect as they deserve? And again, why I think you would be such an amazing activist. You come from the group of people that know what it is like to feel oppressed. So that, to me, your word matters more, and that's why I think your voice can be so powerful and can be so important for those animals who are counting on you. They're waiting for you to speak with them. All we need to do to understand that animals are counting on us is to put ourselves in their position. Imagine if you were in a cage right now and you are waiting literally your slaughter to be killed and your body parts to be chopped and sold in a supermarket. You would be hoping that someone out there will stood up for you and say, no, Kadim does not deserve that. We need to stop. So animals are counting on us to do that. That's why sometimes I don't agree. Like, I love my main thing, how I'm spreading veganism and what my activism is. I still have never been on the street and I never riot or protested. But I'm not against those methods too, because I think those methods are the ones that brought us freedom. So I think for people who are doing that, I support them. My way, it's more of through food and having a vegan restaurant and showcasing how fun and delicious it can be and showing how we vegans are such a cool people. So those are some of my methods, but also I'm always thinking, if my life was on a line, I would not expect anyone to be out there and be joyful and happy, but I would want them to riot for me, to fight to save me. So I think we need to do that, and I really think your voice can be so powerful because first of all, um, black vegans are number one demographics when in being vegan in the United States of America. 8%. I do because I have a restaurant, so I always pay attention to who my customers are, and I always get those statistics of like, oh, how is veganism doing this year? Sometimes we take a step back, like, in 2025 or four, there was less vegans than in 2023. There was a step back, but the fastest growing demographic was Black Americans, 8%, which means that out of 100 Black Americans, 8 of them are vegan. That's insane. Then the second one come white people, 4 of them out of 100. And then after that, Asian, only 1%, and then less than 1% Latinos. Where I'm working so hard to bring Latinos into my restaurant, and I'm in a very Latin populated neighborhood, Albany Park in Chicago. They don't come, and I'm like, and it's like I opened a restaurant over here, but it's growing. It's definitely nothing is going to stop the growth of veganism, but again. Black Americans are leading, and number one reason it's health, and it should be. I don't have a problem with that. But I think you could be such a great voice for the animals. Because listen, no one want to listen to all of these white people anymore. Be like, you're so privileged on every single level out there, and now you're going to be telling me like I have to be worrying about animals and stuff. But when it comes with someone like you, it's more powerful. And that's why I think you could be such a good voice for it. And then one of my goals is to motivate you, to not say to, force it in any way on you, but to motivate you with showing you how much of a difference you can make and how much animals will be grateful for someone like you.
Yeah, I'm an animal. I cannot talk. I am an animal person, so that's something I wouldn't mind doing. Because there's people I interview that does eat animals, but I don't try to force it on them. Like, no, why are you eating? You know what I'm saying?
I know. You can't. But it's okay to find a ways to tell them. And you ask me how I do it with my friends and family. My family is now mostly entirely vegan.
I was gonna ask you about that.
I know, right? It's almost like insane, but I had my own methods on doing that, and a lot of my friends I turned vegan too. It is about educating people. It's about showing them the truth, and why I don't want to be like, oh, why you're doing that. No one wants to feel attacked. We absolutely need to find a way around to enter their ears. To show them that what we are doing, we have a reason for it.
I agree. And I seen a clip of you talking about how you're big on energy. And I wanted to know, since you stop eating animal products, how do you feel mentally and physically since you don't eat the animals? Because a lot of people don't know before you answer that. And I heard someone say this, like sometimes you eat on animals, you eating their energy of them being afraid and stuff like that, and the trauma. So how do you feel when you with that diet?
Those are the benefits of veganism that I did not know. My main reason, as I said, were the animals, and then I got so much more out of it rather than just, oh, I'm being a compassionate human being, which I want to be. It's very important to me. But I noticed, first of all, in a personal energy, that I had so much more energy while not eating plants, because I would go to gym and I would drink pre-workout. Pre-workout, it's full of who knows what chemicals and things. It gets me buzzing, my ears, my everything. And the reason for that is because I would eat a burger or a steak or a chicken or something like that. I would feel so down after the meal. Like it literally would pull me down, that I would feel like, I don't know, it's like a blood pressure or whatever, but I would feel like no energy after the meal. And I thought that that's normal because that was my common experience until I started eating vegan, and I was like, oh, wow, this is like it's wild. I would have so much food, and I would still feel literally 20 minutes after that I can go for a run. It's crazy. And then I kicked out pre-workout of my life originally, and then I replaced it with an energy drink because pre-workout is the worst. And then after that comes the energy drink, and then I was drinking energy drinks. But then because veganism kept going and I started eating mostly plant-focused veganism, I stopped needing energy drinks. So I switched to coffee, and that was the last step. And then now it's been over 1 year, 1.5 years since I don't even drink coffee anymore. I don't need a coffee, and I need nothing. Plants and fruits are enough for me to run my life with. Like, I absolutely have no other sort of help with, like, no caffeine, I don't do any drugs, I don't even smoke weed, I don't drink alcohol, nothing. And I don't think that any of that would be possible if I lived my previous lifestyle. Well, meat was putting me down, and I needed all of these drugs or poison in order to continue to function and to go to gym. Now you and I can go and work out. I don't need coffee. I don't need this energy drink, no pre-workout, nothing. I'm ready.
Okay. So there's let me ask you this. What are the misconceptions of being vegan, in your opinion, that people have? Because I got a lot.
Well, probably, what we hear every day. Like the biggest misconception is that it's not healthy. People will be immediately, you need meat for all the right nutrients and things. That's been proven wrong with science so many times. Like, I'm so over it. Like, where did the animals get all nutritions and stuff? Like, what cow? Cow, it's not eating meat. Where the elephant gets so big and strong? Where, like, I don't know, gorilla gets, one of the strongest animals out there. All of them are eating plants. So it's absolutely enough, and protein, where the protein comes from, it absolutely comes from plants. All the things, I don't know, misconception of veganism that maybe it's expensive. I disagree with that.
I agree with that. Yeah, same here.
I think veganism is the most consistent in prices are the fruits and veggies. Meat be going up and down like crazy. I think the plants stay super consistent with the prices. Also, some of the cheapest foods on earth are rice and beans and lentils and things like that, which are all vegan and full of protein and nutrition and all the things we need. We can go on and on with so many misconceptions.
So how do you get your minerals, like your vitamin D, your protein and stuff like that?
Listen, in mostly everything we eat, there is some sort of protein. Mostly broccoli has protein. People are shocked to hear that, but it does. So the best thing that I can do for myself, and my main goal is to eat 80 different fruits and vegetables in a week. Okay. You'll get all you need. You don't even have to, that's what you need to try. Okay. And after that, you don't have to be even trying, I need protein, I need this, I need that. No. It's really optimal because so many different plants have many different minerals and vitamins and nutrients that we need. So eating variety it's the most important thing. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to do, to eat about 80 different fruits and vegetables in a week. And that makes me feel really good. And everything is perfect. Everything is normal. I don't have any deficiencies. I don't even need any. I'm not saying you shouldn't be taking supplements if that's needed. If you have some sort of deficiency in any of the nutrients that you need, supplement, it's the way to go. Because animals are given supplements often so that you can eat an animal to get a supplement that was given to an animal. Just take directly a supplement. I mean, do you have a dog? Yeah, would you eat like your dog if you needed? No, so it's you would rather take a supplement, right? So it's then why would we eat a cow to get some sort of that supplement that was given to a cow? Because animals, the soil is so depleted from what we are doing to our planet. Also, that's a lot very important when veganism steps in to save the planet. There's no B12 anymore, so animals are given supplements. So when I'm saying, oh, I'm eating meat for my B12, no, you're eating a supplement that was given to an animal. So I would rather take a B12 directly if needed, but at the moment I'm taking zero supplements, nothing. It's just because it's not needed for me. Again, I'm trying to enter 80 different fruits and veggies in me a week. So
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, man. Cause I ain't gonna lie. Like, I feel like vitamin deficiency. However you say that word.
yeah,
Yeah.
deficiency.
Cause
Yeah.
like I wasn't really. Cause when I went vegan, I was eating a lot of Beyond Meat. A lot of like I wasn't eating stuff that wasn't having the nutrients. I wasn't really eating mushrooms like that until beginning of this year. Towards end of beginning. No. At the beginning of this year, that's when I started eating more mushrooms and eating more.
There are 20,000 different edible mushrooms out there that are safe for humans.
I didn't even know that.
20,000. Like, it's so crazy how much veganism opens door for us too. There are foods I didn't know it existed. And I'm eating now as vegan. And that's the biggest misconception. Let's say that veganism is restrictive. That you will restrict yourself. No. Eating meat, it's restrictive because you're all the time one dead animal with potato, another dead animal with potato. You're eating the same over and over again. Once you go vegan, you explore so much. You learn about foods you never knew it existed. I've never heard of jackfruit before. Now I'm obsessed with it. In my restaurant, we do jackfruit tacos, jackfruit wraps, jackfruit lox, jackfruits on a salad. It is so good. And I didn't even know it existed. Like lion mane mushrooms, oyster mushrooms. Oh my God. I'm making myself hungry just talking about this.
It's crazy because there's people who's allergic to mushrooms, and I ain't never knew that.
But what kind? To all 20,000 of them? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't believe honestly.
Also,
I don't believe
allergies are curable, and they can be cured with a plant-based diet. I'm not a scientist, okay? So it's like whatever I say, check the studies. But there are studies who are showing that allergies actually can be cured.
I believe anything can be curable, in my opinion. But I don't want to go too deep in that.
No, it's listen, plants are powerful. Let's say that. Plants are extremely powerful. They can do the miracles. I've seen it in my family. My father was like ready to die and switched to a plant-based diet, and it just was like literally almost like a miracle. And then my family witnessing all of that inspire all of them. My mom doesn't eat meat. My older brother doesn't eat meat. His wife, my sister-in-law. So majority of my family is on a plant-based diet.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, I'm trying to get my mom to it. She kind of like up and down with it, but
You don't want your mom to die.
yeah. I think the more I show her alternatives, I believe she will turn vegan. Cause I recently found this ingredient on TikTok, the chickpea mushroom burger. You should try it. Ooh. Yeah, so it's real easy to make. All you need is bell pepper, onions, and
then chickpeas and mushrooms.
yeah, then like a flour, like a chickpea flour, and you just pretty much cook the mushrooms and the bell peppers. Then you get the chickpeas smash or whatever. Then you put the chickpea mushrooms together, put some flour inside of it, turn it to a patty. Let it sit in the fridge for 30 minutes. I'll do it like a day.
You want to make me hungry. That's your goal.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to.
Listen, my mouth is watering. I was like, I want to eat all of it.
Yeah, man. That was really good. You'll like it. You season to your liking it. It's fire. That's all I eat every day. Is that.
But listen, the seasoning. Meat tastes like nothing if it's not seasoned with plants. Okay, so that's a lot of people like, oh, it just doesn't taste good. I was like, it can taste whatever you want it to taste. That's how people manipulate the taste of meat. Meat, it's tasteless if not seasoned.
Right. So what I want to ask, what's your suggestions to someone who want to put the red meat down and they're having a hard time putting?
Why you keep saying red meat? Let's.
What you prefer me to say?
Meat.
Meat in general?
Oh,
okay,
yes.
meat. Oh, yeah, because that chicken with chicken. Okay.
Have fish. Like, leave the fish alone. First of all, like, listen, everything that has a mom, has a brain and follows the mom and wants to live, just let's leave them alone. Let's leave them alone.
So what's your advice for someone who's struggling to put the meat down?
Yeah. So main thing is, and the best way to do it, you see how you did it. You started it Beyond Burgers. And I think it's the most efficient way. And reason for that is if you eat what you normally ate, but just alternative, you're not feeling like you're making such a huge drastic change in your life. And drastic changes can be hard. So if you start with what you normally eat, if pasta is for dinner tonight, let's make pasta, but then let's make it vegan. If pizza is for lunch, let's make pizza, but let's put vegan pepperoni on it. So my advice into the veganism is what you normally ate that day, let's eat the same exact things, but let's make them vegan. And I think that's the best way. And later on, we'll be thinking about this 80 fruits and veggies that you need in a week. But that's a drastic change. But that goes step by step. Also, we can train our taste buds too. Like our taste changes over time. There's things I didn't like before, and now I can eat. Like I can eat tomatoes and apple like that. Before I didn't like it, but I trained myself into that. I remember like almost wanting to cry biting into tomato because like I really didn't like it.
Wait, so you can eat tomato by itself? You can eat a tomato by
Oh,
yourself?
I can eat tomato like to me it's like tastes like an apple now. I just love it so much.
Yeah, I ain't there yet.
Especially if it's like a good fresh tomato, that it's not long on a shelf and sprayed and everything like organic or. Somebody brought me tomatoes. They bought them from Amish, and they were so good. I literally ate them like they were apples. But again, this comes from someone who 7 years ago was like, no, I cannot stand tomato. Leave tomato off my burger. Leave tomato off my sandwich. Now I'm eating tomato just by itself. So we can train. And I trained myself into loving greens so much. Like green smoothie is my favorite. Green juice is my favorite. Again, comes from someone who never wanted a green leaf in my sandwich.
Got it. So I want to ask you this. I know you mentioned earlier that you travel a lot. In your opinion, what cities got the best vegan spots?
Oh my God. So when I say this, people get shocked, okay? But I really think it's in the Spain and it's Madrid and Barcelona. And the reason why people get shocked is once you walk down the main street, Gran Via in Madrid, so many shops are so meat heavy that you can see those legs of the animals from the store. That's how they come in and buy pieces of meat from us. So it's so graphic over there. It's a country that like really eats meat a lot, but their vegan restaurants are insane. Really? Insane. We went to Barcelona on a vegan trip. What we did, instead of sightseeing, we were going to 4 vegan restaurants a day. And what we would do, we would see some important things, Sagrada Familia and things like that. But our schedule would be from breakfast, then to walk multiple miles till the next vegan spot. And then we would see all the things. Then we would walk another 5-6 miles till the next vegan restaurant. And that's what we were doing. And there are so many, and it's absolutely amazing. As much as it's heavy eating on a meat, it's also incredible to eat vegan there. So
I would never have thought you would say that country. I'm thinking that you might say Seattle. I'm thinking that you might say maybe Chicago.
Yeah. Well, you know what? America has pretty good vegan scene, but it's not what it's supposed to be. And I know that because I run a restaurant, and I can be super honest with you. I wish I could have a restaurant like one of those that I adore. The problem is I'm entrepreneur, and I always want to have what sells the most, what people crave the most, what people ask the most, right? So while Kale My Name has a lot of amazing healthy options, like our wraps are gluten-free, and they're on the grill with olive oil and so many different salads and lentil soups and amazing healthy options. The biggest sellers in my restaurants are fried cauliflower wings, fried oyster mushrooms, a burger, comfort food. So in that sense, I have to in order to, vegan restaurants are under attack so much, they're struggling big time, so many of them are closing. I have to appeal to the masses. And I have to be selling what sells the most. And I think that's just American culture to eat a lot of comfort foods. So while it is delicious, my preference is a little bit different, right? Like I eat at my restaurant a lot, okay? Like mostly every day of my life when I'm in Chicago. But I would have a slightly different menu if I was able to sell it.
So if it was up to you, how would you have your menu?
Yeah, I had some things that I had to take off because people were not buying it. Our healthiest wrap, quinoa hummus wrap, it was just so amazing, was so delicious, was so healthy, but it was not selling. What I'm gonna do? It's so hard. It's so hard. And then people will like put more healthy options. I was like, are you gonna buy them? Are you gonna come
But
and buy them?
do you think people is kind of like it's not educated?
No, it's just people want, when you go out to a restaurant, you want to enjoy, you want to indulge. That's what it is. That's what it is. I'm not saying that my customers are not making, we have 10 different delicious smoothies. They buy those too. Those sell, okay? And I'm not saying they're not making salads and eating lots of fruits and veggies and stuff, but they come to Kale My Name. They want cauliflower wing. Well, cauliflower, it's a plant. It's fried, but lightly fried. So I think it's still better than a chicken wing. Again, those are our number one selling items because when people come to a restaurant, they wanna have a good time, and I don't blame them.
No, I understand. So speaking of your restaurant, Kale My Name.
Kale my name, Kale my name.
Yeah. So like, how did it started?
Well, I was in the restaurant industry because I was immigrant to this country who
Yeah.
just didn't know what to do and didn't have any job, and no one would hire him besides the restaurants. And
Yeah.
I ended up in that industry more out of need than of the passion for it.
Okay.
I'm now very passionate about veganism and passionate about entrepreneurship, but I was never passionate about restaurant industry in particular.
Yeah.
But I worked there first as a host and a server, bartender, floor manager, general manager, and then once I finally reached a general manager, I was like, this is my career now, is
Yeah.
it? And then I figured, what's the next steps? And I thought, okay, I should open my own, but I just really didn't know how. I didn't have money.
Yeah, I know. I was doing some research on you, and like you maxed out all your cards. I think you used all your savings. I was like, dang.
Listen, but I didn't have that much savings. When I say like, all of my savings now, you think like, my savings are like $7,000. So I was like, it wasn't real savings. Wow. It was bad. And my credit cards, all combined credit cards from me and my husband were like $50,000 maximum, Thank God for no spending limit present right now. But back in time was a $50,000 on all of them combined. And I maxed out all of them. I was scared.
So, and that's what I want to ask you. So you said you were scared. What made you took that leap of faith? Because most people would get discouraged. Like, no, I'm not about to do that.
Listen, and I'm serious about it. Veganism. If it was any sort of other business, I would not step into it. I would be afraid to do it. But veganism did me right in life. It did me right first. It made me feel really good. It made me, later on, I told you I believe in that beautiful energy. Once you put out there the beautiful energy, it comes back. And good things started happening to me. I figured out my immigration process was very long and painful. Like literally very shortly after I went vegan, I got my approval for my green card. And all the good things started happening in my life. And I was like, I now believe that I can do it because I'm doing something good. I'm not going to be profiting of anybody's pain, of anybody's suffering. And that's what I talked about our building because a landlord's wife thought that building was cursed because I don't know if you know this, but where Kale My Name is, there were like 30 restaurants before me. All of them shut down with a record amount of time. Some of them never even opened. Put a sign and something would happen, they would not be able to open. So she believed that the building was cursed, and then when finally Kale My Name started working out like 3 years later, I was like so successful or whatever, she came to me and she told me the story, and I said, but let's think about this. I was like, this is the first time that there is no blood screams and tears in this kitchen. We're just cooking plants. So I believe that broke the curse. So when 5 years ago I was opening Kale My Name, I was really, as I said, so passionate about veganism. And I said, I'm doing this not just for myself, but I want to build the vegan community. I want to do this to make it a place that it's safe for everyone. And that gave me courage to do it I'm not saying I wasn't terrified through the process. Brave enough to do it while shaking. But I did it anyway. And goodness, again, I believe it's the veganism what brought life to it, and I'm just so grateful with the life of Kale My Name, how it went to be what it is.
So, I want to ask. So when was that moment when things started?
First day.
Oh, first day.
First day. So listen this. When I take all of this bravery and courage and do all of those things, and I schedule Kale My Name opening for March 17, 2020. Do you remember what happened on March 17, 2020? The world got shut down. It was declared. No, March 17 is when they shut the world down and said no restaurants, nothing. And that was my scheduled date to open Kale My Name, on a day that they said that the world is shutting down, that everybody need to be in their home for 2 weeks. So naively, I had only 2 employees, or to my friends who were my employees or whatever. I was like, let's do this together. I told them, let's postpone for 2 weeks till pandemic is over, because I literally thought it's gonna last for 2 weeks. Everybody thought that. And I was like, and then we'll open then. And then we went home for 2 weeks, and pandemic was still pretty much there, probably even worse than before. And all of these restaurants started operating for takeout and delivery. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, I lost everything I had. Like, I need to do something about it. So I was like, okay, let's do it another 2 weeks, wait, and we will open April 17, 2025. So it's been now exactly 5 years. And we opened for only takeout and delivery. Okay, that day, we got so many people that we didn't have food for them. And I cried so much. I was crushed. I thought they will never come back. They came back. We made a news for the restaurant who opened in spite of the pandemic, and so many people showed up, and we ran out of to-go bags, to-go boxes. We ran out of food. From the day one, it was incredible. And then maybe that first year, in the summer, then we opened a little patio. We started introducing the dine-in and things like that. So maybe that first year was not as great as, but for me it was so great because I didn't know any better. I thought that that's the best. In the first year, in between April and the end of the year, we sold $500,000, and I thought that that's like unbelievable, But then in 2021 we sold over $1 million. In 2022 we sold close to $2 million, and then in 2023 we crossed $2 million in sales in a year.
That's dope. Yeah. That's dope. And doing my research, I feel like when you're having a goal, it takes that like maybe a couple people to believe in you. Yeah. And when I'm doing my research, Tabitha Brown. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it seemed like So it seemed like a complete. Sometimes it takes a complete stranger to believe in you. How has Tabitha Brown impacted your life?
Well, listen, I've said this so many times. From the day I met her, I never lived the same life again. From the same day.
And what you mean by that? I heard you say
listen,
that.
she has magic dust. and that's she just sprayed little on me, and that's it. Well, the reason for that, actually, the very first day is when we met, she kind of did teeny tiny 5-minute interview with me where she was like, "Who are you and what do you do?" And I said, and she posted it on to her 12, 13 million followers across the platform. Imagine when, like, and I don't have any money for the marketing or anything. I'm doing everything on my own. And then person like that comes and does that for free out of goodness of her heart, introduces me to 12, 13 million of people. Like, the next day we already had 10,000 followers. I was like, what's going on? It was just like crazy. And then every time, and then one video when she came back and brought her family, in that video got over 1 million views, exploded. It was a brunch spread, and goodness, we were booked for brunch for months. I really feel like Tab, it's one of the most influential people out there. I spoke about this. There are some huge celebrities who are world celebrities. The entire world knows them, but they don't have that much influence. Like they can't. And I always give an example because I remember when Lady Gaga came to Chicago and she ate at a particular restaurant and it made the news. We all knew where she went and when she ate, but none of us bothered to go there the next day because she ate there. How cool. And that was it. But when Tab ate at Kale My Name, I'm telling you, within a month we had 10,000 of people who came and they love her so much they wanted to sit in a chair that she sat on. So yeah. Wow. So and then just later on doing business with Tab. And we became friends and everything, and it just, she opened so many doors for me, so many opportunities. She always tells me it's not because of me, it's because you're amazing. And I said, oh, I am pretty amazing, but no one would know that if it was not for you. So she kind of gave me that sort of she opened door for me into the entertainment industry when people started inviting me on shows and a podcast, and I got an offer to do my own podcast and then get an offer to do my own show, which I'm super excited about. And you need to know about Unchained TV. Unchained TV is a fully vegan streaming platform. Really? Okay, so and you're gonna love it. It's like vegan Netflix. Like you download on your phone, on your iPad, on your TV. It's available everywhere. You download Unchained TV. You don't need to pay. It's free. You don't even have to create a profile. You just open the app. 2,000 shows are available for you to watch, and they're all surrounding veganism.
Wow, that's different. Okay, I never heard of that.
A lot of them that I have about health, a lot of them about animal agriculture, a lot of them documentaries, a lot of them fictional, like shows that the people are acting, movies. And there is my show called Kale Crew, where I just have fun. Season 1 was strictly located in Chicago, where my co-host for the season 1 was plant-based Tamika. Her and I went to 10, 11 different restaurants in the season 1 and just showcased their food, including the Taste of Brie that you just recently met. She was on our episode 5, amazing episode. You need to watch it. And we have done that, but for the second season that already started, I'm now going to different cities. So every episode, it's a different city, different co-host, mostly personality from that particular city. And the New York episode is already out. I've done it with amazing animal rights activist called Jamie Logan. And the episode 2 was in Miami, and I've done it with a vegan bodybuilder, Tori Washington. You should talk to him. You would love him. No, he lives in Miami. So he is a vegan bodybuilder, and he's been vegan for 28 years. So amazing episode from Miami. And now episode 3 is happening in Atlanta next week. And I'm super excited. I already know places where I'm going to go, but, watch Unchained TV.
I'm going to check it out. I'm going to check it out because I did had a vegan. You have slutty vegan before?
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course. That's like,
Yeah, no, I had it. Okay, because I think I had asked you earlier your favorite vegan spots with cities. For me, I haven't been to a lot of cities, but so far I like Atlanta vegan.
Yeah. I went also on a vegan eating tour in Atlanta. Actually, a friend and I went and we just ate. Like, oh, we did. And it was amazing. And I'm going next week to do that again. 3 days, but I'll make sure to fit as many restaurants as I want because I also shoot content for Veg News. And I've been loving doing that. Veg News is the biggest vegan magazine on the planet. And I'm mostly trying to showcase different vegan spots, not just across the country, but across the world. Um, so every time I go to a new city, now being in Milwaukee, I really wanted to visit as many fully vegan spots as possible. But all I found that was fully vegan was Twisted Plants, and I loved it.
Yeah, yeah, it ain't too many. They are some vegan spots, but it's just vegan and vegetarian.
Yeah, no, my energy is focused on a fully vegan spots. I think vegan restaurants are struggling big time. They're under attack. They're closing. So I'm trying. I will eat. I had avocado toast this morning in a bakery across this studio, and that was not a fully vegan spot. So of course I'm gonna do that when I don't have an option. I also want to create demand for the vegan options in the non-vegan places. But my priority is to eat at a fully vegan restaurants because they're under attack. People no longer need to go extra mile to eat at a vegan spot because Taco Bell has a vegan options, McDonald's has a vegan options, Burger King has an impossible vegan burger. So we no longer need to go out of our way to find a vegan food, and I think that's why vegan restaurants are struggling so much. So I am giving my best still to support fully vegan restaurants as much as I can. If there is a restaurant with amazing vegan options or a fully vegan restaurant, I'm gonna forever and always choose a fully vegan restaurant.
I understand, and I'm really like admire you because once you're very passionate of what you believe in, and I respect that. I respect that a
Well,
lot.
thank you. You're very kind. So
Yeah, yeah, because most people, they get discouraged.
you're very kind. Thank you for saying all those things.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. For sure, man. For sure, you definitely have a positive energy. And last thing, a couple more questions, and we can wrap things up. Um, I know. Okay, so like three more questions. What has been the most rewarding moment in your journey as a restaurant owner?
Ooh, as a restaurant owner, I was thinking as another things when it comes to vegans. But as a restaurant owner, well, I made it. I made that community that I wanted, and that was the most rewarding thing. And we get so many of those awards. And why they're so important to me, it's not because like, oh, it's a trophy that I need to put out there, but it's I know that my community had my back. Because majority of these rewards that we win are um, voting based. So when we won Vegan Restaurant of the Year national award in America, Vegan Restaurant of the Year, I knew that I have community like nobody else. And to me, I didn't take that as, oh, I am the best restaurant. No, I knew I have community like nobody else because no one else voted more than my people because I won. And multiple times best vegan restaurant in Chicago, multiple times best brunch in Chicago, now recently best brunch in a country. Again, to me, those rewards are not thinking that I have the best food. I'm thinking that I absolutely have the best community. And that's my biggest award. Like literally, it just makes me so happy that um, people are there for me and I am there for them as much as I can. Kale My Name operates on giving back so much. We run this program called Giving Tuesdays. Our Giving Tuesdays is when we donate 20% of our sales, which is pretty much the entire profits. Like on Tuesday nights, I don't profit. Everything goes to the certain organization that we pick, mostly non-profit organizations, mostly around the animals, but multiple times we did it for the natural disasters, for people, anybody that we can help. And the reason I wanted to do that is because People are so overwhelmed with so many needs that we need to donate and support. That night, you don't have to do anything. You're making difference just by eating at Kale My Name. So I'm not asking you for extra money or anything. You come, you pay your bill just like every other day. I will then take 20% of your bill and donate it. I do a lot of different fundraising events outside of the Giving Tuesdays. Just try to support any possible cause that I can. So that is my way into pouring back into my community that has given me so much.
That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. You're a podcast host. You're an entrepreneur. You're always on the go. What I want to ask you is, how do you take care of your mental health?
Ooh, mental health super important, and I'm not doing any extra work to keep it sane mind. I feel like, again, I spoke about clean, beautiful energy, and I feel like eating plants, eating fruits, eating properly, sleeping properly. I love to put 8 hours of sleep in. Let me tell you that. And yeah, that helps me remaining pretty sane. and I feel that way, and I'm so blessed to feel that I'm mentally very healthy. And I again think veganism really helps that.
That's good, man. That's good, man. This is my last question. What's your message or suggestion to repeat that question? What's your message or suggestion to an entrepreneur who wants to start their own business?
Oh, my message for entrepreneurs who want to start their own business is to start. Okay, I am on this other show. It's called The Blocks. It's a show about entrepreneurship, strictly about entrepreneurship. And I serve as a judge and a mentor on that show. And one of the things that we teach them, entrepreneurs, and I also love to go there because I learned so much. It's called Lean. And it basically means that you just want to start. If you are waiting for the things to be perfect, they'll never be perfect. And you'll never be able. That's same with like any decision in life that you want to make. People waiting, oh, I'll buy a car when it's perfect. It's never going to be perfect. Or people are like, oh, we're going to have a kids when it's timing it's right. It's never going to be a right time. You just have to start with something. So that's how I started, without having enough money, without having enough resources and support to do this. But I've started. Later on, when business brought me money, I was able to buy things that I didn't have and I needed in order to start. So that's the best advice that I can give to anyone. Just start working with someone. Create an Instagram page today for your future business. I had Kale My Name Instagram year before Kale My Name existed. And that was my thing. I started and I put in a bio, a vegan restaurant coming soon. When soon, I had no idea, but I put it out there. And I think that's literally what we need to do, is start, and later on we'll be thinking of how to make it perfect. But let's just get going.
I agree to that because when I started this podcast, I already had my pages made, but I had no episodes. I was asking people to come on. Some people said yes, some people didn't respond, but I just started it, and I wasn't even ready, honestly. And someone told me that like when you start a brand, you will never be ready.
Yeah, and look at you now.
Yep,
You know,
sitting next to
doing
you.
great.
Yeah, man.
So,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
so
man. Yeah,
you'll do great. Yeah. You're meant for this, and you will be wonderful voice, not just for the health, but also for the animals.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure, man. Well, that's all the questions I have.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank
today.
you,
It
because
was
man,
great.
because like most, not to, I'm getting straightforward. Like a lot of people with your following that you have, some people be kind of stuck up, but you're not like that, man. Very
stop.
surprisingly, you know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you taking the
All
time
love.
out. Yeah, I appreciate it, and hope you drive safely back to Chicago.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, show me some love. Don't be hanging. All right, that was that.